Hello everyone, this is a collection of the last 6 Storytime videos for Season 1 of my channel. I hope you enjoy.
Wow, Avel, you changed your character again after only 2.5 videos. How could you? Okay, but look at that. That one's ugly. And that one's unbearable. So, eh. Anyway, wow, 2023 is over and I've been making Apple videos for 5 months now. It's been the most successful period of my channel ever. I've gained more subscribers in the last few months than any other time period. Not that we need to talk about any of those. But Avel, I like the random crap that you posted. Shh! I'm not gonna stop that, but I'm just doing whatever the heck I want right now. Also, for the past while, I've had trouble with my computer, hence me making an entire video about it. But, I actually have fixed that now, so that will no longer be a problem. No more overheating, all my RAM is working perfectly, and it shouldn't shut off anymore. So that is definitely going to be a big help to not having all of my video progress lost when my computer decides to explode itself. I started doing my own artwork consistently around 2020 or 2021 and just recently gained the confidence to actually use it in videos on my channel. I actually just bought a new drawing tablet I can use instead of my old iPad, so I won't have to email every frame of my video to myself anymore. I could probably do a video on just difficulties of making videos. Anyway, right now I'm in that space where I'm really close to 100 subscribers and I want it to happen. Even such a small goal has been something I've always wanted to achieve, so make it happen. I'm so glad I finally finished importing the video files for my newest video to my PC. Now all I need to do is...
Actually, I will be destroying these. And I'm taking this too.
Yeah, so my newest video, which was gonna be an unboxing video, was destroyed by the Photos app on Windows. I was really excited to show off my new graphics card and drawing tablet, but yeah, I guess that's just not happening right now. I'm kind of starting to get to my limit with the Windows applications, because even File Explorer was freaking out when I was just trying to access the files. Sometimes it would say my phone didn't give access, sometimes it would say that the files are inaccessible, and sometimes it just wouldn't even know the phone was plugged in at all. I don't know if it's because it's an iPhone, but I'm sure as heck not going to go try hunting down a Windows phone, so I don't really know what to do. Anyway, to make up for it, I made a Scratch game, and I guess I'm also unveiling that I make Scratch games. That's right, I'm buddies with the Scratch Cat. Anyway, you should totally play it and leave suggestions because I'm going to keep updating it, and also subscribe because I just hit 100 and I want 200 by the end of 2024. Thank you! So I have worked at McDo for a while now, and usually it's pretty boring, but occasionally we do have some interesting situations. So I'm going to talk about that. So the reason I decided to work there at all was because one of my friends worked there and I didn't really have my license yet, so it would be convenient for us to just drive together. We live pretty close together, so it wasn't really much out of his way to just drop me off at home afterward. That was our happy plan anyway. The day I had to go in for my interview, I had my mom drive me there. I dressed decently and sat down inside. The general manager, let's call him Horticulture, came and sat across from me. And we greeted each other and it was fine until the actual interview started. The first thing he told me was, "We have a strict appearance policy. Would you be willing to cut your hair?" For context, I have very long hair and I really like it, so of course I immediately said no. He just stood up and shook my hand, said thank you, and walked away. Now, no matter what the circumstances were, I would have been mad, but my main problem is that 20 feet away, there were people working that had their hair even longer than mine. So I just had to leave really upset. Now, this might sound pretty bad, but later that day, they got a phone call from corporate saying that their policy had changed, and they called me back asking to come in for orientation. So everything turned out okay, but it was a really unfair policy to begin with. So we've all heard the stories of entitled customers, and I can confirm that they exist. It's usually the most typical generic people that get mad over something really small, or thinking that they should be prioritized over other customers. These customers are pretty simple to deal with, but sometimes we get ones that just create situations that are like really annoying, and it's very difficult for me to keep my cool. When I pull into work, I have to go through a four-way intersection. I was turning left and the person to my right had their blinker on to go right. So we both should have been totally fine to go. So we both start driving at the same time, and they nearly run into me. I pull into my parking spot and they go into the drive-thru. I open the door and get out of my car, and they yell, "You have a stop sign!" And I yell back, "You had your blinker on!" And they just roll up their window. So I went inside and clocked in and told one of the managers about it. Meanwhile, they had just gotten their food, which was a large fry well done. My manager tells me that this lady has come through before, and they had to ask her to leave because she was being really mean to the employees. While we're talking, we hear the person in back cash trying to reason with someone, and eventually they stop and the car pulls ahead to the second window. Guess who it is? The same lady that tried to hit me with her car. She says that her fries are not well done enough. Apparently this is like the third time she's done the same thing, and she's essentially been banned from the location. But to be nice, we decided to make her fries, and we made them well. So well done. I'm not even sure they were fries when we gave them to her. But you know what? She didn't come back. So this is like a update. So she actually did come back. She didn't come back for a couple months, but apparently she did not that long ago. And one of the managers warned me that if she was disrespectful at all, they would just ban her, like permanently, and ask her to not return. So that's fun. I have some friends at work, and one of them, well, I'll call him D's. He asked to be called that. I'm not making that up. Is a pretty great friend of mine. So one night, he decided he was going to be sick and leave to go to the bathroom for like a half hour. And there really weren't that many people working. I believe there was only about 5 of us, including him. So horticulture goes to check on him and comes back with a pretty upset look on his face. So I ask him if Deez is okay. I laugh a little bit, and about 5 minutes later, Deez comes back looking absolutely awful. He tells me that there's a really big mess in the bathroom. Horticulture comes over and informs me that I have to go clean it up. So I walk in there and I expect something pretty manageable. I mean, there's a toilet and a garbage can. There can't be that much on the floor. Oh my god! I have to clean up this pile of slop with nothing but a smelly wet vac, a mop, and my bare hands. Anyway, it took me about 20 minutes to clean, and I was traumatized. Anyway, that was some work stories. Let me know if you want to hear more, because I definitely have more. Subscribe and comment or something. Bye-bye. Well, this has been a really great vacation, but I think it's about time I go home. I have the perfect plan. Well, it's great to be home, and I think it's about time I check my mail. It looks like I have quite a few letters. I am at that wonderful age where colleges start flooding your house with messages requesting that you look into attending their school. I'm pretty sure they got my information from a survey I took my sophomore year that asked about all of my interests. For any of you wondering, I would like to get a degree in computer engineering. I have a specific college in mind, and I've actually attended a couple visits to it, and it seems pretty ideal for me. It'll be pretty easy to get accepted into it because I have consistently high grades, and I'm even in a couple activities that my school provides. Let me know if you'd like a video on that, because I definitely could make one. They've even flooded my emails with requests to come do another visit, and they inform me that I can apply very soon. Anyway, back to the letters. I've noticed that there seems to be 3 different types of letters that follow almost identical patterns, so let's go through them. College search tests. Many of the letters I've received advertise that they have this super accurate college finder that claims to tell you the ideal college for you. The not so secret behind this, however, is that no matter what you say your interests are, they will still recommend their college as the best. Now, I can't say this for sure because I've only actually bothered to do 2 of them out of the maybe 20 letters that use this method, but both of them just directed me back to the college that sent it. This method just seems kind of silly to me because I can just look up their college and clearly see that they don't provide classes that I'm even remotely interested in. Sucking up. Another pretty common method is that they just compliment you over and over again, saying stuff like, a model student like you would, and a high achiever like you should know. And as much as it sometimes makes me feel good, I know that they're sending it to thousands of other students across the country. I even had one send me like 3 packets and an actual gold medal thing congratulating me. On what? I don't know. All I know is it just kept telling me over and over that because I'm a smart student, I should go to their college because all of the other smart people go there. This method is probably better than the first one, but it just seems kind of unnecessary. Like, if you really wanted me to believe that all of the smart students go to your school, then just send me a packet containing information about your school and what it provides. I've even gotten ones where they send me up with a student ID and they tell me that I only have a certain amount of time to sign up just for their school. Anyway, legitimate information. Now, this is definitely the least common of the letter types I've received, maybe 3 out of the piles of letters I have, and I only count the ones that aren't putting themselves on a pedestal and saying that they're the best college in the whole world. I love it when they just tell me about their school and community without trying to make me feel like I'd be so awesome to go there because they just love their students. If a short letter or packet can just tell me about the campus and everything I'd want to know, then it will probably interest me way more than any of the other categories. Now, what am I actually planning on doing? Well, for the last couple years, I've been pretty dead set to this nice college that's about an hour from where I live, and that's the one I was talking about earlier. But recently, my dad brought up an idea that I hadn't really thought of before. I could do a foreign exchange to Germany. He told me that they have a very good program for it and that it would be a very good opportunity for me since I've been learning German for over a year now. And I actually recently convinced my school to allow me to take an online German class for a foreign language because they don't normally provide it. So right now, I'm starting to drift towards that idea. I've been to other countries, obviously, but I've always wanted to have an extended stay somewhere new, and I think this may be my best chance. Thank you for watching. Tell me about any of your college experiences in the comments. Like and subscribe and such, and bye! For the last few months, I have been collecting the funniest of all the work reviews I could find, and I really think I have some of the weirdest and most ridiculous reviews out of the hundreds that we've gotten. This video is actually a sequel to a video I made a while back, and I would say you should go watch it, but honestly, the editing is really bad, so maybe just stay here. To sum up what the reviews are, when someone gets a receipt, they can do a short survey where at the end it will ask them for written feedback, but nobody really writes anything significant, and usually it's just gibberish. But sometimes people just say stupid stuff that I find extremely funny and worth sharing with you guys. Speaking of you guys, if you want to come hang out with me and chat, I have made a Discord server. The link to join is down below. And it's the new place that I will grab fan art from to feature in my videos. Alright, let's begin with this one. 426 cheeseburgers was my order, and it was amazing, and it was completed in 45 seconds. Sure, man, sure. To make 6 patties alone, it takes around 45 seconds. So for an order of 426 to be finished, you would need 71 grills. We don't have that many. I really liked my meal. Comma, the burgers were go-to, period. The fries weren't too salty, period. The service is great. I will definitely come back again. That's a mouthful, oh my god. I mean, I really don't have much to say about this one, other than I don't think they quite understand how diction works. Although I am confused at how they got the period after meal, but then just said comma. It's really a mystery to me how this review ended up as it is. Food was very good. I love McDonald's. Ronald is a baddie for real. I love food. I'm pretty sure I know who wrote this, but it's just so ridiculous I had to include it. And really the reason this was so funny when I read it the first time is because the review below it is just, nah. Okay, so this next one needs a little bit of context. I have a coworker who is very talkative. Very, very talkative. As in, he never shuts the heck up, and he talks about the weirdest stuff. Okay, whatever, here's the review. The older guy that took my payment was going off about a man that died before 2020, and he's in a different realm now. If I didn't drive off, he would have kept going. Not really what I want to hear from someone handling my credit card. This is completely deserved. I don't know what's up with him. He holds the whole line whenever he works back cash, and I just really like the idea of someone slowly driving past the window while he just rambles on. Shrek is hot because he eats at this McDonald's. Eat here to be just like Shrek. Yeah, I don't know. And to end this video with the best review you've all been waiting for. The one that outshines all the others in its funniness and grammatical prowess. 12 Burger. I have always had this strange obsession with VR technology ever since I first became aware of it. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with me as a child setting up the entire basement of our house as a Mario level for me to run through. The idea of actually being immersed into a game's world seemed so strange back then. And it's really weird now that everyone has just adjusted to this technology existing. Like, I understand that the rate at which technology improves rapidly increases as time goes on, but it just seems strange to think that when I was a kid, smartphones were this wild idea and seemed like something only the rich would really have. And the internet was still not even as mainstream as it is now. Anyway, I remember the first time I saw VR, I think it might have been in a Jacksepticeye video. I remember being just amazed and instantly seeing the potential. Of course, it had a lot of wires and very limited movement, but that's something I could excuse. At this point, I wasn't exactly old enough to get a job, and there was no way I was going to get something like that for a birthday or Christmas. Not yet, at least. Not too much longer after this, I remember walking into a Best Buy. They had this whole area for people to try out a VR headset. I'm really not sure what one it was, but it was relatively new at the time, so I don't know, Oculus something maybe? I got in line and waited for quite a while. I just sat there on my phone and pretty much looked up stuff about the headset that I was about to use, and eventually I got to try it out. The guy running it told me they had a few different games of differing intensities. I, of course, picked the most intense one. It was this game where you had to climb a mountain. And obviously, since it was the first time I'd ever experienced something like this, it was just unreal. I nearly fell over so many times, but I ended up completing the level, and I decided to talk to the employee afterward. He didn't seem to know much though, and honestly seemed disinterested in it, which I can't really blame him because I was definitely nagging him when he needed to be helping the next person, but also felt kind of like an insult after what I had just experienced. Needless to say, I was hooked. I had to have a VR headset of some kind just to feel that thrill again. And naturally, nearly a year and a half later, for Christmas of 2016, I got the PlayStation VR. I also got Doom VFR and PlayStation VR Worlds and a demo disc, of course. I played all of them for absolute ages, and I remember saving up a lot of money to buy Resident Evil 7 when I found out it had a VR mode. I just couldn't put it down. I have a slight hunch that might be why my vision is pretty bad. As far as I'm aware, there hasn't been that many studies done on how VR affects your sight, but I was definitely under the recommended age when I started using VR, and I never really had problems with my eyesight before that, so could be that. The timeline of events from here is pretty simple. With some more time passing and me getting a job, I was able to afford a PC and an Oculus Quest 2. And again, it was incredible, especially playing VR chat with friends. And I have something to show you. Hello. So yeah, I have this now. So look, it's me. That's crazy. Avel in real life. Have you ever seen anything this cool? I really doubt it. Yeah, so I'm in 3D. You might have seen this on my community page. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, I've been a big fan of VR chat for a long time, and especially with VR technology, I've always wanted to have like an expression of myself, and I've done many different, skins and stuff on VR chat. But I worked with someone. I'll put their name here, and they were able to create a skin for me, and yeah, so I don't know how much VR chat content I'm really going to create, but I think it's pretty cool that I can do this here. My internet's really bad. I can't download things right now, so VR chat's kind of a luxury. If, like, every once in a while I get to play it with friends, not a huge deal, but I do think it's pretty cool that I have this now. And in the description, I'll probably link my account, and if you want, you can add me as a friend, and there's a chance that we could play together. As well as with my Discord server. I might have like invites for people if you want to join me playing on my server. It's pretty cool. I'm here. Look at this. It's me in the game. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time. So sorry, I'm being too rambly about it. It's so cool. It's such a cool thing. Look at this. I'm here in the world. It's me. And yeah, so subscribe. That'd be pretty cool of you if you could subscribe. I'd very much appreciate that. And back to the actual video. Thank you, past version of me. Since VR is a serious passion of mine, I want to take this opportunity to talk about a couple difficulties of dealing with it. After a couple years of using my PlayStation VR fairly consistently, the camera seemed to work less and less properly. I had a lot of problems with hand tracking near the end of the time that I was using it, and eventually I just put it down and didn't really play it for a while until I got my Oculus Quest 2. And just in general, VR on PC and Oculus is extremely buggy. Like, just trying to deal with it and get everything set up for gaming just takes way too long. And you're on a timer too. When that battery dies, you're done. And sure, you can have one of the head straps with a battery dock like I do, but that costs another $50 at least. And even then, you're not always going to have your batteries charged. When I was looking into getting a MetaQuest 3, I was really skeptical of its use of pass-through, while not significantly upgrading the resolution or FOV. At that time, FOV seemed like the most important part to a VR headset to me, at least in what I had imagined, because the Quest's FOV was so bad. But after using it, wow! It is really great to have full color pass-through, and even the minor improvements make a serious difference to the quality of life when playing any VR game, even on PC. I really do recommend it if you're looking into getting a VR headset. Thanks for listening to me ramble about this passion of mine. I'd love to talk about it with all of you in the comments. If you have any interesting stories about VR, I'd love to hear them. Also, you can come to the Discord, like I said earlier. Anyway, like the video, and bye-bye.